Assalamualaikum, my name is Nik Irsalina Bt Ibrahim.
Hi, my name is Aqilah Husna binti Amran.
Hi, my name is Arfan Azamudin Adie.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon to our lecturer, Madam Chayu, and my fellow classmates. We are from class MC2472C, and my name is Karmila binti Salehudin. We wanted to present our writing analysis on social media, and we chose Astro Awani as our organization.
So for the organization, we have chosen Astro Awani as our organization. And then for the introduction for Astro Awani is the number 1 24-hour news channel in Malaysia in the channel 501. They produce a lot of program consisting of live news, current affair, business, sport, bulletin, lifestyle, documentaries, interview program, and local international magazine. As we all are all aware about Astro Awani, is one of the most news source in Malaysia. So we want to make sure that Astro Awani have a right credibility or right quality of being trusted and believed in. Astro Awani is one of the active organization either in television or media social platform.
My name is Arfan Azamudin Asmadi. So my point will be the official website of Astro Awani. A brief history of the news website. At first, it was created within the intention of storing only the archive of print publication. Then, it solely turned to an official website that posts and update all the news within the organization. The news availability of web browsing made news websites become more accessible toward more people across the globe. Mostly, this Astro Awani official website contains such variety categories article of news around the world, and has also been included a video of news cover that can found from television, and this make it easier for any person who miss watching the news on live. My first point is the language appropriate? Astro Awani is using an appropriate language for a website that mostly is about news that is intended for all categories, which is both young and adult. Astro Awani also avoid in using biased language in the website content, which means a language that contain mostly about racial, ethnic, group or gender bias, or any language that can be labeled as stereotypical. Even though they have to cover news that contain such things about race, genders, and other sensitive issue, but they still manage to avoid using a biased language in the news. Next, we can also see that Astro Awani website is using both English and Malay language in the website to make sure that every citizen can access the news without having any language issues. My second point, does it have any suitable emotional elements? Emotional elements are like emotional connection that is fused between the reader and the story. Like the reader will be feeling happy, sad, or sympathy when reading the writing. Astro Awani posts a news about one of the frontliners that protect our country in this COVID-19 pandemic situation. As we can see on this example given, just by reading the headline, it has an emotional attraction about how our frontliner is busy protecting our country even though they have their own important day and things to do. My point number 3 is the choice of picture appropriate. As we know, sometimes it can be inappropriate when the news is using a photo of a dead person when they're covering the news about death, or using a photo without censored, or a photo that can cause controversy when they're covering a sensitive topic of news. Astro Awani have done a great job in using an appropriate picture for the news that they post on the website. Mostly, Astro Awani will be using an image that are not real if the news is about something sensitive such as verbal abuse or smoking, to just illustrate the situation without using a real picture of someone who actually do it. The reason for this is because Astro Awani avoid using all the inappropriate picture, as most of them can be offensive toward the readers, or it sometimes can make readers feel uncomfortable. This is also to avoid from reader making a speculation that Astro Awani doesn't have any sensitivity in posting the news. My point number 4. Are there any elements of manipulation, misquotation or misleading of info? There have been an issue with Astro Awani website before, and it also has made an uproar among the Malaysian netizens. The misleading info content is about the daughter and son of both popular Malaysian celebrities, which is, you all will know, Yusof Iskandar and Siti Afia. Netizens argue that the content is inappropriate and it is ridiculous because of this. Awani have been called in harsh word of critics of all the netizens. Next, it will when Awani posts a very inappropriate and misleading info of headline about one of the crucial and popular cases that have occurred in Malaysia before. I think you all know. The article is about the late Zulfahan case. One of the accused, Akmal Alif alias, was released from the charge of injuring Zulfahan Osman. The misleading headline making all the netizens mad and upset because the headline make Muhammad Akmal Akif alias look like he should not be released from the charge, and he is actually guilty when the truth is Muhammad Akmal is the one that been trying to save the late Zulfahan Osman. And as you can see on the slide, several netizens comment that Awani is making a misleading info through the headline. And we all think that, also netizens think that it is very inappropriate things to do and comes from Astro Awani.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Karmila and I will explain the analysis about Astro Awani on Facebook platform. Firstly, based on my analysis, Astro Awani use relevant caption or headlines on their Facebook. They are mostly use formal language and sentences on their headlines, also caption. They also use straightforward main point and it is easy for the readers to understand and may not cause any misunderstanding that will mislead the reader. For example, they use headlines like MOH confirms COVID-19 positive cases involving Pakistani barber. Moreover, the headlines also clickable, where the readers can simply click on the headlines to read the full article. They also can be seen as trustworthy news because they use facts or words from the person himself. For example, they use headlines like elak kekeliruan penipuan dokumen saringan COVID-19 by KP Kesihatan. And lastly, they are also use conversational language and words, which is they don't use overly complicated language on their headlines and caption. Then, for the second point, does it have any suitable emotional elements? So, Astro Awani has also posted a caption or story that can attract the readers and tend to get people sharing heavily, especially if it is a topic that can relate to them personally. The emotional caption is appropriate and suitable to share with the readers and may not cause any misunderstanding to them. Such a caption invites the pity, sadness, sympathy to the reader, in which the author wishes to convey the sad emotion to the reader. For example, they use captions and headlines like, "Menitik air mata saya bila melihat beliau mengusap wajah jenazah anak beliau sambil bertasbih menguatkan semangatnya sendiri." Next, for the third point on Facebook, they also use appropriate choice of picture. The choice of picture is appropriate for each news item as a references or proof to the readers to be more confident and understand about the news. Astro Awani also use infographic pictures as they share the news about the rising price of oil since people have increasingly shorter attention spans and it may help them to understand better. However, there are some vague and poor quality of picture where a picture of several firefighters at night to report the news about 2 oil workers caught in the fire. Astro Awani should change this in order to provide a better quality and more accurate pictures to readers on Facebook. Next, for the fourth point, Astro Awani also shared inappropriate content and the choice of story. The author presents an unprofessional story, like there is no other story to tell in this report. The story looks like it from bloggers, and journalists should maintain their standards and credibility, especially the well-known organizations like Astro Awani. For example, an issue has surfaced on Astro Awani Facebook page as they report the news with the headlines, Amran kecewa Katniss bukan miliknya lagi by admin Amran fans. So, for the last point, does the Facebook apply the best practice and tips of social media writing? Most of the news from Astro Awani on the Facebook page is highly effective and contains useful information for the readers. Astro Awani should keep it going by using social media like Facebook to deliver useful and good news for the readers. They should reduce the display of news that contain unimportant or unprofessional to the reader, even it is for entertainment. They must maintain their credibility as news organizations using appropriate sentence or pictures, clear headlines with details, avoid misleading, and so on. So, basically, Astro Awani on Facebook platform apply the best practice for social media writing. That's all from me. Move on to the Twitter.
So, next social media platform is Twitter. Twitter is a platform where people from all over the world can interact and share information with each other by posting or usually called as tweet. Twitter usually used by personal account, businesses and also organizations to spread message, products and organization as it provides a great opportunity to reach their target audience. Astro Awani started to join Twitter in 2012 with a username at 501awani and gained 2 million of followers. Awani has become one of the best sources to read articles and news in Twitter. So, the first point is unethical writing. Astro Awani posted inappropriate news that can lead to slander and should not be published. The title of the news is Didakwa gara-gara PUBG, isteri lari tinggalkan anak dan suami. The news is about a husband that claimed his wife left him and their child because she is cheating on him using online games. There are also other tweets by the family members said the news is not true. So the news is so unnecessary and unethical to publish as it involves one's personal life and the news might not be true. So according to Champion 2014, in journalism, giving a truthful, balanced, factual and objective, avoiding from conflict of interest and taking people's privacy into account is one of the responsibility as a journalist. Astro Awani should make sure that all the news that are posted in their Twitter follow the ethics of writing and avoid to post this kind of news in social media, especially Twitter. And the second point is, does the Twitter apply the best practice and tips of social media writing? Some of the Astro Awani writing doesn't apply the best tip for their Twitter platform. So one of the best tips in social media writing is using the hashtags. According to Kim 2018, hashtag is an important tool on Twitter as it helps in organize and sort the post or tweet. Astro Awani have many different categories for the news, such as Malaysian news, world news, entertainment news, sport news, and many others. But there are no hashtag used for every category. So Astro Awani need to improve by using hashtag for the every categories of the news. As example, hashtag Awani Malaysian News, hashtag Awani World News, hashtag Awani Sport News. So the readers don't need to scroll down and waste their time to find the categories of the news that they want to read. So next is inappropriate choice of pictures. The picture used on Astro Awani tweet are usually not related and suitable with the topic of the news. So Awani posted a one news with a caption perkhidmatan kereta api Bukit Bendera kembali beroperasi mulai esok. The news come with the image of a snake. Other than that, Astro Awani also posted an ethical news with the image of the real person without the consent of the person. So the news title is Tidak Gara-Gara PUBG, Isteri Lari Tinggalkan Anak dan Suami. The news come with with an image of a woman that was edited to hide her face. So it is inappropriate because some people might recognize the woman based on the image, even though the face was hidden. So Astro Awani should improve by making sure the picture that they use is related with the topic or content of the news. And the last one is misquotation, misleading and inappropriate headline. Astro Awani also known with their inappropriate and misleading headline in their news writing. So once Astro Awani posted an article in Twitter with the headline Tiada Halangan Pesalah Pedofilia Nufitri Azmi untuk lanjutkan pengajian di UiTM Dr. Wan Azizah. After that, they repost the news with a new headline which is Senarai Pesalah Pedofilia akan dikemas kini. Nufitri dipastikan jalani pemulihan. Dr. Wan Azizah. On the same tweet, Astro Awani also apologized for their mistakes. So, the solution for this issue, Astro Awani should improve their way of making headline for their news, because the headline is the most important as it is the first thing that the readers will see.
Okay, now we're moving on to the third media platform for Astro Awani organization. So Instagram is one of social media platform which is free online photo sharing application social network platform that was acquired by Facebook in 2012. For the first question is, does the writing in Instagram adhere the social media ethic or not? So in my opinion, Instagram, they do follow the social media ethic as Astro Awani is being professional. They had picked a professional screen name as they name it 501 Awani. Astro Awani do follow the ethic as they put a proper profile picture that is parallel to its profile name. Moreover, Astro Awani did not post anything ridiculous in their Instagram that could affect their organization, such as fake news or distorted information. Also, their Instagram been active in updating news from time to time to make people become interested and attracted to follow the account, because they disseminating the information which is a fact. Furthermore, there are no grammatical or spelling error made by Astro Awani in the Instagram account. As a result, Astro Awani got 900,000 followers in their Instagram account, which can be proven that Astro Awani have disseminated trustworthy news, either it is from local or international. The second question for Instagram is the choice of picture appropriate or the caption relevant? Or question mark. Overall, the picture and caption used by Astro Awani is appropriate. They lay out both aspiration and obligation that writers, editors, and other working in the field should follow to execute their work responsibly. Besides, the organization draws a reasonable limit on personal commentary. As for instance, there are no personal commentary on news made by the digital journalists. Also, there are no manipulation of image used in their Instagram account. All picture used is suitable with the headline of the news. However, there is one latest news which the picture used is not so appropriate and have no sense of humanity for the suspect in the news. As we can see, the culprit face is 100% visible in the picture. And then the title of the news is Warga Emas dipenjara 8 tahun liwat kanak-kanak. So for the solution regarding this issue, they should minimize harm and blur his face in order to respect his family. Okay, now we can look for the second case, which is the same question as before, but this case is different, which is lacking in writing a caption on Instagram. they do make a good caption, but there is also a post that show the caption written is not sufficient enough regarding the news. For evidence, a picture shows there is one of the reader left a comment that he did not understand the meaning of the NUTP and asked who is NUTP in the headline. For case, the headline is NUTP cadang sekolah rendah dibuka seawal hujung Disember. So, because of Astro Awani did not mention the stand for NUTP, makes reader feel irritated and disappointed with it. They just use an abbreviation or acronym without mention the acronym stand for what. Also, they did not mention the abbreviation used in the caption. So I think it is forgivable if they do not explain what is NUTP in the headline, but they must explain the meaning of NUTP in the caption, but then they not mention it. So for the solution, caption should have a sufficient information to make a clear picture for readers to understand what is the news is about. That's it, I think, for the Instagram. Thank you so much.
In conclusion, there definitely is a right and a wrong way of social media writing. It is very important for all individual and organization to follow the ethical way in social media writing. Write in ethical way on social media is one of the crucial factors that lead some organization to its downfall and also their uprise. One of the important parts in ethics of social media writing is that it can empower the organization staff itself. When the organization employees know how to share the content in ethical way, they can be the representative and also advocate for the organization without harming its reputation. Astro Awani has done a great job in writing ethically for their website platform, but Astro Awani has some deficiency in the writing other social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and also Twitter. Some of the posting is unethical and there is so much things that they can improve on the social media. It is important for every individual, especially to the ones that work for the professional organization like Astro Awani, to learn the right way and the ethical of social media writing. That's all from us. Thank you.